Hey everybody, this is KennedyHawk. We are back with video 2 from round 1 of the Contest of Marvel Champions Championship. If this is your first video tuning in, I'm not surprised because this is the second video in the series, and what I'm going to be doing today is taking on the 2 Green Goblin scenarios, the first sort of scenario pack or encounter expansion for Marvel Champions. So what this Contest of Champions is, in case you didn't know, I've set up some rules for myself, and what I'm going to be doing is determining the one true champion of Marvel Champions. Which hero is it going to be? I'm going to use a randomizer wheel to pick the hero aspect pairs for each match. Each hero can suffer 2 defeats. They basically have 2 lives in an NES game. If they lose a second time, they're going to be banished to the negative zone and removed from the selection pool for heroes. We haven't had that to happen to anybody else yet because it's still video 2. But we'll get there. We're going to play through all the scenarios in release order. So we went through the core set already, and we're now moving on to Green Goblin. We're starting in Standard, and then we're going to move to Expert, and then we're going to move to Expert with random mods or Heroic or something really crazy. Who knows? Maybe Standard too. Okay, not that crazy, but maybe. In the end, we're going to figure out which champion is the true champion of Marvel Champions in this championship. Champion. So, just a recap of where we were. In our last round, we went against the 3 core set villains. Our last game was Captain America Aggression against Ultron on Standard. Our record is a nice 3-0 so far. Our win-loss rate with the different aspects are listed here. So we were 2-0 with Aggression, 1-0 with Leadership, 2-0 with Justice, 1-0 with Protection. So we played on a Morlock once, you can tell. Our win-loss record with Community decks is 3-0, and I think I've decided I really enjoyed playing those Community decks. So what I'm going to do for this video series is every time I randomly select that spinner wheel, I'm just going to go to Marvel CDB and pick one of the decks with the most likes. Not necessarily always the one with exactly the most likes, but one of the top 5 or 6. And just try the decks out that the community has made, because there's some really good deck builders out there, and I'm not afraid to net deck and try out their decks, because they're really good. They have a lot of likes for a reason. So, that being said, let's get this underway and get ready to take on Risky Business. Okay, so here is our magical spinner wheel. We are going to see just who we get to play as. And they really want us to play as Captain America. We are playing as Captain America Protection. Wowzers. I'm wondering if I should even make my own deck for this one. I just said that I wasn't, so we'll do the searching here. So if you didn't know, you can choose an aspect right here. You can choose a card. So here we're saying we want to use the Captain America hero, and we're going to sort by number of likes and search. So there is a Stunlock deck. May 21. No Allies deck. Now that sounds fun. Lots of good ones here. I think I want to try this Flow Like Water deck, because that's got some new cards in it, like Flow Like Water from Vision's pack. So we're going to try this deck out right here. It's deck number 16019 by Inigo Montoya. I'm super excited. Inigo, I may have butchered your name / screen name, I apologize, but I'm really excited to try out your deck. So I'm going to get this loaded up in TTS really quick. I will leave this on the stream while everything's loading up so people can read the description of the deck list here. But we are going to get things going. Alright, deck list number is 16019. Builderoonie. I clicked it about 17 times too many, so TTS is taking a while to load, but I'm going to get the screen switched over here, and we'll get underway. Alright, and we've got everything set up here. I know in my last game I played a little too fast and made a couple of rules mistakes. People pointed them out in the comments. I really appreciate that, so if you did post them and I didn't respond, or if I did, thank you so much for pointing out those gameplay mistakes I make, because I'm trying to not do those. So we're going to play it a little bit more slower and meticulously today, trying to talk out what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, so we can avoid some of those, because we want this championship of championship of contests and champions to be somewhat legit, right? I mean, this isn't just for funsies. This is like a serious business kind of thing. That being said, it is a serious business kind of thing, so I am trying to not make those mistakes, and we'll see how we do with that today. I'm sure I will make a few, so if you do see them, please point them out. I have already put Man Out of Time in there. I loaded the deck twice, I believe. Yes, okay, so Man Out of Time is in there, along with the Standard and the Goblin Gimmicks modular set. And we are ready to go here and start things off. So if you haven't played Risky Business before, basically, we can't deal damage to Norman Osborn. We have to remove tokens from his criminal enterprise equal to the damage we would deal first. Once we've dealt enough damage, he'll flip, get some kind of effect, and then we can actually damage the Goblin. He has really high attack in Goblin form, and basically he can't attack when he's Norman, he just builds up more shields. And he can't scheme as the Goblin, he can just attack us and remove insanity counters to flip back to his Norman form. So, I'm down here, and we are ready to go. I'm not super convinced that I need Dauntless right away, so I am going to toss that one. I also don't need this, although it does just let me cycle my deck, but I could dig a little bit deeper and ignore that. That was a Disney reference for all you Disney nuts out there. Alright, so we drew a bunch of cards. We're going to go look for our shield, because that is our setup ability. I pitched the Heroic Strike, even though I like to stun him, because I don't necessarily want to flip him right away, although that wouldn't be the end of the world. I still want to do a little bit of setup first. This is standard mode. We have time for setup, I think, and we're going to try to take advantage of that. Alright, so we reduced the cost of allies by 1, and I'm thinking about playing an ally. So I'm probably going to use Shield Block and Night Nurse to play Agent 13. When she comes into play, she can remove 2 threats, so we'll do that right away. We're going to flip down, and I think we're going to play Captain America's Shield into our upgrades, and we're going to play Electrostatic Armor. So when we defend, we'll now be dealing 1 damage to Green Goblin, 2 damage because of Retaliate and Electrostatic Armor. So we got to be a little bit careful here, or he could end up flipping on turn 1, which I guess is something we didn't think about earlier, but maybe we should have. Do we just want to flip him and get a little bit of damage in? I don't think we do. I'd rather he just take a shield. So we're going to wait here for now and draw our 5 cards. And what I mean by take our shield, you'll see here in a minute, he's going to get 1 threat because the 1 threat per player increase. It says here, when Norman Osborn would attack, place 1 infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. So we're just going to place an infamy counter instead of him attacking us. And we just get 1 encounter card, which is a guard minion. So not too bad for us. We're pretty happy with that outcome. Alright, it is our go again. We're going to go ahead and throw a Super Soldier Serum down. It's another upgrade for us. And I think we're going to pay 2. We might even just pay 1 for an Ironheart and flip down. Because this guy schemes for 0, which doesn't hurt us at all. So we'll hit this guy for 2 just to start getting some damage in on him. Whoa, didn't want to draw him. Just wanted to deal 2 damage to him. And that means I can... Yeah, I can discard a card to ready and just punch him off the board. So we don't have to worry about him later. He's now out of the way. We're going to flip down and use our Super Soldier Serum to play Ironheart. When she comes into play, she draws us a card, which is always good. And we'll use that to play our helmet. We're just getting set up here for any emergency situations we might have, building up some allies on the board so we can really punch some damage in once we get a chance. Alright, so we're drawing 6 cards because we're in Alter Ego form. We have a Nick Fury, we have a Defiance, which is really cool. We don't have our Flow Like Water yet. We really want to kind of do a lot of ping damage with him. I read the little entry while things were loading, and it looks like you can do 6 ping damage with a sidestep, which seems crazy, but we're not there yet. So, alright, he's got a scheme of 2 plus a 0 for his boost. And our encounter card is, when revealed, choose to either give the villain 1 face-down boost card or place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. We'll place those 2 counters because we're not super eager to punch through just yet. And it's our go. So we will definitely get some work in here. We're going to play Nick Fury for 3 and draw 3 cards. We are going to use a sidestep to play Steve's Apartment, which lets us draw another card. It would let us heal 1, but we're at full health, so joke's on him. We've got 2 energy barriers here, and I would love to get them both down. Let's flip up. I think Nick Fury and Agent Well, Agent 13 will thwart. Let's not kid ourselves here. Nick Fury will punch this guy for 2. And then we'll just let him die to retaliate. We'll take the 2 damage. It's not the end of the world. But that way we don't lose Ironheart and she can chump in the future. So now we've got some decisions to make. I'm definitely going to pay 2. I'm deciding, I think I kind of want to get a Nerves of Steel down. Just so I have all of those upgrades ready to go when I need them. And then I think I'm also going to play an Energy Barrier. So we're really set up here now to start reflecting some crazy damage back at the villain. We can use Captain America's ability to punch 2 of these shields off, or his base attack, which I don't feel too bad about, and move to the next phase. So we're drawing 5. 1 threat is going to go on the main. Again, instead of attacking us, I forgot, he's just going to get a counter. So Nick Fury doesn't really do that much for us there. We get 1. This guy does attack us, though. So he attacks us for 2. And I think I'll take 2 and then get rid of him with Retaliate. I don't mind taking some damage because we've got our apartment down there. And then our encounter card is another one of those guys. Great. Yeah, we'll place the 2 infamy counters, I think. All right. What are we going to do here? Nick Fury is going to get discarded because that was the end of our round. I think we're going to pay 2 for another Super Soldier Serum. So we've got all the things we've ever wanted in the world. I think we're going to pay 1, 2, 3 for a Heroic Strike. It's going to pop this guy for 6, which will flip this card over. That also tells us to flip Norman over. So we have Norman 2 out there right now. We wanted to have Norman 1. There we go. When revealed, deal 3 indirect damage to each player in hero form. So that is us. We're just going to take it on our main identity. And now we've got 2 counters to deal with. We want to lay in as much damage as we can, and he's stunned. So we can afford to stay in this form for 1 turn. I'd love to flip down to be able to play Unflappable, but it's just not in the cards right now. And actually, I'm gonna take backsies here a minute. I'm only gonna take 2 of that indirect damage, and I'm gonna reflect 1 back at him with Energy Barrier because that seems really good. I think we're gonna hold Unflappable because that's a really strong card, and just draw 4. So we've got 1 threat going on the main. He is stunned. This guy is not. I should have thought about that. He is going to hit me for 2. So I will reflect 1 of it back at him. I don't know what I'm doing here with these status tokens. I'm trying to deal damage to this guy. So we end up taking 1 damage. I have to decide if I want to defend or not. I think I will. So I will defend, so I end up taking no damage. He'll take 1 from Electrostatic Armor and 1 from Retaliate, and that'll just get rid of the minion for us. We get 1 encounter card, and it's a guard minion. So not too bad, not too horrible at all. We still haven't had to use any of our allies, which is really funny. I think I'm going to pitch a med team to ready. And we'll punch for 2. I think I'm actually going to sack one of my allies to get rid of this guard minion. And the reason we're doing that is we really want to be able to Heroic Strike and stun Green Gabby again. And this time we're going to throw an Unflappable down. So we've got like everything in the world we could ever want here. Ironheart is passed away. Her pack was announced, so it was time. We do deck out, so we're getting an extra encounter card. And next turn, we'll probably try to clear the scheme and flip down and see what happens. So this is going to 4. He's not going to attack us because he's stunned, but we have 2 encounter cards to deal with. So first we have a Caught Off Guard. I think what I'm going to do is discard Captain America's helmet. It's the least important thing to me right now. And we have a man out of time, so we're going to get a free flip and exhaust to remove that. That's pretty ideal because we can now get our 1 healing and extra draw from Steve's apartment. So we're definitely going to do that to start our turn off. We don't have any allies to play from our hand. We do finally have Flow Like Water, which is really, really good for us, so we're definitely going to try to get that down. We're going to flip up, and we'll use our Super Soldier Serums to play Flow Like Water. Play under any player's control. After you play a defense card, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. So when he attacks us here, we can basically just completely smash him using Defiance and Sidestep, right? So we can cancel his boost card, deal damage to him. We can Sidestep him, deal another damage to him. Just bonkersness here. So I am going to discard a card to ready. I'm going to Fearless Determination to draw a card. I could stun him again. I definitely want to thwart for 3. And I don't have the right resources to stun him, so we're just going to call it quits there for now and go on to the next phase. Alright, so we have 1 card coming to hand only. We're not burning through our deck anymore because now we're trying to do damage in this amazingly designed deck using these defense events. So 1 damage is coming in. He's going to swing at us for 3. And when a boost card on the enemy attacking you would be turned face up, discard it instead. So I'm not actually defending, but now by playing this defense event, I become the defender. I also use Flow Like Water to deal 1 damage to the enemy, so I just discard this card. Sounds great, a 3 boost icon card. He would be dealing 3 damage to me, and now is when I'm going to use my Sidestep. So again, another defense event. I ping him for 1. I avoid the 3 damage. If you paid for this card using a Lightning Bolt, which we did from Nerves and Steel, do another 1 damage. That sounds great. We also defended, so we get to do Electrostatic Armor, and he attacked us, so we get to do Retaliate. That was 4 damage Sidestep, which feels pretty good to me. I'm not upset with that at all. And he gets an encounter card too, which is a guard minion. So not the end of the world for us. We can deal with guard minions if we have to, right? Oh, we get to trigger Unflappable as well. Sorry, definitely going to do that. We want all the things we can get. Alright, I think I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4 for a Nick Fury and draw 3 cards. We will then punch to get rid of this guard minion. And I think I'll discard a card to ready and thwart for 2. Just keep that thwart nice and real low. We're honestly probably not even going to use Nick Fury to defend. We'll use our Defiance and do a base defense just to push some damage through. But, I mean, things are looking pretty happy for us. Drawn 3 cards. Again, we're not burning through our deck. We've got all these defense events. We're definitely going to use them. So he's got 1 threat coming on him, and he's going to attack us for 3 plus a boost. I think I'm not even going to use Defiance. I'm just going to use Shield Block. So place 1 infamy counter or remove 1 counter. Oh, I should have used Defiance. I could have canceled that effect. I will Shield Block the 3 damage. So I take no damage. I did just play a defense event, so Flow Like Water will go off. And then I defended, so Electrostatic Armor will go off, or Retaliate, depending on what order it goes in. So we hit him down to 0, and he's going to jump to the next stage, which is going to deal 4 indirect damage to each player. Good thing we got Nick Fury here to take 2 of that damage. And then I'll take 2. Bingo bango. And he's going to jump up to 18, and we're going to get that last point of damage from either Electrostatic Armor or Retaliate, depending on the order things go in. We get 1 encounter card here, which is a Side Scheme. Just 2 threat, no big deal. And all we've got to do is 17 damage. This isn't so bad at all. Things are going really well for us. We could have Unflappable there again, but I missed like a million triggers because I am who I am. Alright, we're going to pay 1, 2, 3 and Heroic Strike this puppy. Cap is doing cap things. I'm going to swing for 4 more. Just by double tapping. And I'm feeling pretty ballsy, so we're going to swing with, what's her name, Agent 13 here, and we're going to ready everything up. So we got 2 threat coming out because of this acceleration token. I should drop to my full hand size here. We got lots of defenses here if we need them. He is stunned, so he's not going to attack us, and his second card is a Goblin Glider, so no big deal to us. We're pretty much just able to kill him off here. So we can swing for 4 with Cap. We can use Captain America's shield. Bingo bango, hit him for 4. Cap protection, again, standard risky business. No problem at all. Great games all around. Super happy with how those worked out. All right, moving on to the next game. Spinning our spinning wheel of death here. Who are we taking up against Mutagen Formula on Standard? Oh goodness. Another protection deck. My favorite. It's Americano Night on the MCM stream. War Machine Protection. I'm so excited. Hey, community, I see a large gap here in War Machine Protection decks, and I'd like you to make one for me. We're going to go with the Iron Stun Squad here by Villain, or Villain. I can talk sometimes. It is deck number 14019, and we're going to get everything set up over here on Tabletop Simulator, and then we'll be ready to go. So just give me a moment, and things should be hunky-dory. Alright, and everything is loaded. We're getting set up here. I think we had a pretty clean Captain America game. If you saw any mistakes, please let me know. But we're moving on to War Machine against our fan favorite Mutagen formula here. Alright, so we've started with our Goblin Thrall in play. We are rocking and ready to go. We have a hand size of 6, so we're going to draw up. Looks like there's lots of stuns and lots of allies with the word iron in them. Alright, now we don't have aerial to start with, so we don't necessarily want to deal with that yet. I'm going to keep one of these repulsor beams. We'll keep our upgrade. This can pay for the upgrade. We'll throw away and never back down and draw 2 more. Oh, so we do have our aerial card. That's good for us. And we've got Ever Vigilant. Bingo bango, I'm loving things here. Alright, here we go. We can choose to shuffle a War Machine card back into our deck. So I think we're going to pay for upgraded chassis first. And then we're going to shuffle the missile launcher back into our deck. And now we will flip up. After you change to this form, you get 5 Bang Bang Bucks. So there we go. We've got our Bang Bang Bucks. And after you change to hero form, exhaust this to give yourself a tough status card. This is like beautiful for our start here. I was really worried about Mutagen Formula knocking someone out in Standard and being super embarrassed, which probably will still happen if we're being honest. But I'm less worried about it now. Maybe I shouldn't be. We're going to punch this guy for 2. And then we're going to play Ever Vigilant to ready our hero. Punch him for 2 again and remove the 2 threat using Ever Vigilant. That feels like a pretty good start. I got no complaints here. Drawing 5 cards. We've still got our 5 ammo counters. And we draw into an Iron Man, which, I mean, I'm not upset about at all. So things are going pretty well. We have 1 threat going on the main scheme. He is going to swing at us, and we know we're not going to take any damage because of tough. Do we want to never back down to stun him? I don't think we do. Alright, so we're getting hit for 5, but we've got a tough counter, so that's okay. And our encounter card is to discard X cards in the encounter deck, where X is double the villain's stage number, so 2. Each time a Goblin minion is discarded, choose to put them into play or take 3 damage. Ouch. I'm going to take 3 damage once for this Goblin Soldier, because he's going to end up dealing damage to me anyway, and we'll take the Thrall minion into play. Alright, it is our go. I am going to pay 1, 2, 3 for an Iron Man. Search your deck and discard pile for a tech upgrade. Add it to your hand and then shuffle your deck. So let's see what tech upgrades we have as options here that we can afford. We have 1 resource. That's a ton, in case you didn't know. We'd really like to get Shoulder Cannon out, but I just don't think that is what we can afford. It looks like the only thing we can afford is this missile launcher. So we'll grab it, and we'll get it into play. So we can remove Exhaust Missile Launcher, remove 1 ammo counter, so we'll do that to deal 2 damage to an enemy. We'll hit this Goblin Thrall, and War Machine will finish him off. Iron Man will come swinging into Gabi himself. I wish we had more ways to get rid of these ammo counters, but I actually think I'm going to flip down. When I flip down, I do lose my ammo, so that goes away. But we can shuffle a War Machine card back into our deck, and we're going to shuffle in one of these Repulsor Blasts. And then draw 6 cards, because we're in Alter Ego form. Alright, look at that. We got Scorched Earth. Not too excited about that right now. But we do have Gatling Gun. Gatling Gun. Gauntlet Gun, which is really good for us, one of our resource generators. So pretty excited about that. 1 threat going in the main. He's going to scheme for 1 and put a Thrall into play, who's also going to scheme for 1. So that many total. And our encounter card is an Overrun. Ooh, never good. Never good for us. Alright, let's see what we can do here now. This doesn't look so bad anymore. But we really want to get that gun down too, so we'll see what happens. We are going to flip and gain our 5 ammo back. We really need to get that munitions bunker into play here. It's kind of what dictates our game, and it's still in our deck, so I should probably stop shuffling things in. I'm going to use an Ever Back Down and a Scorched Earth to play our Gauntlet Gun. I can generate a wild resource for a War Machine event and place 1 ammo counter on War Machine. So we'll do that and go to 6 ammo counters. 1, 2, 3 for a Scorched Earth. Remove 3 of those ammo counters. So we're going back down to 3 and deal 3 to every enemy in play. And that gets our on guard because it's not an attack, which is bingo bango great. Iron Man can thwart for 2. War Machine can punch for 2. And we get a tough token from this guy. We've also got Missile Launcher, so we can remove 1 more ammo counter, putting ourselves down to 2, just to get 2 more damage in. Just take full advantage of those ammo counters as much as we can. And we're drawing 5, so things are looking pretty good. Getting that upgraded chassis round 1 is really, really important. And we got our munitions bunker, so that's going to be great. 1 threat going out. He's swinging at us for 2 plus something, and we've got a tough, so we don't even care. We get 1 encounter card, which is Overrun. And I forgot about Overrun over here, so there's actually way more threat out there than I want. Double Overruns is not a thing that we can really maintain. So we're going to have to figure out just what do we do about that. Yeah, it's kind of gross. I guess we hit one of them and see what comes out. So in player order, we each discard 2 cards from the top of the deck. We get no Goblin minions, so that is great use for us out of War Machine. I think Iron Man's honestly going to have to thwart and sacrifice himself, and then we'll survive a turn by using Sidestep. Do I play full auto? I don't have enough counters to play full auto, so I probably don't. So we'll use Quinn Carrier and full auto to play Munitions Bunker. I guess I hold on to Sidestep. Iron Man has to thwart. That puts us down to 3. That keeps us in the game for now. But it sends Iron Man to my trash pile, which is a bit unfortunate. And I still can't flip down. So we could still end up having a real bad turn here. I'm going to get rid of Shoulder Cannon, even though it's great, and look for things that help me right now. So we've got 1, 2, 3 threat going out because of Overrun. What is Gabi going to do? He's going to attack us for 2 plus a boost card. And we do have a Sidestep. So I kind of think I want to defend for 2. See what comes up here. It's a 3, so I've got to Sidestep it. And we will. So we take none. And we did not pay with a Lightning Bolt, so we don't get to do our 1 damage. Probably a mistake, but that's okay. We get an encounter card here. And it is a Hysteria. We're probably letting this first scheme pop at this point, unfortunately. But it is our go, which is always good. We are going to Repulsor Blast, generate a resource to gain our ammo counter, and then immediately spend it to deal 4 damage. I think we're going to get a crew quarters down, and I honestly think we just have to flip down. Choose a War Machine card in your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. We will shuffle in that other resource generator. We can now exhaust this to place 2 ammo counters on it. And we lose our ammo counters off of Rhodey himself. We can heal ourselves 1, so crew quarters is going to pay off slowly but surely. Alright, we've got 3 threat going here. Whatever it is, it triggers this, and we discard looking for goblins. Oh no. Put the first goblin minion discarded into play engaged with you. So we are going to get a monster of a monster here. You are stunned. That's horrible. And other bad things. This goes down to, we're going to the second scheme here. So it goes down to 4. But then Green Goblin is going to scheme with 1 extra boost card. So 1, put this guy into play. Just 1. These guys will scheme for 1, 2. And we get an encounter card, which is a Goblin Thrall. Alright, we really need some better luck here. Honestly, we really need it. Let's heal ourselves for 1. Let's get 2 more counters here. Never hurts. And then I think we need to put some things back into our deck. I think we need Scorched Earth back into our deck using War Machine here. We are going to get some good things, but I don't know if we're going to get enough to make way of this giant disaster that befalls us. So we'll see. We're going to flip and get our tough token, which is always good. We're going to get our 5 resources here. And targeted strike is always good. We can generate a thing for targeted strike and ammo counter for targeted strike, and then spend it immediately to remove 3 threat from the main scheme. We can do so again, going down to 4 and spending a bait and switch to remove 3 from the main scheme. I'm wondering if we actually want to do bait and switch. We didn't have 2 mental resources, so we can't get rid of Hysteria. That's a bit unfortunate for us. We've got all these nasty guys coming at us. I think we need to clear our stun just to be ready for next turn. And honestly, I wish I had 1 more resource to play tackle, but I just don't. I could have the villain attack me, but that seems like a bad plan right now. We're just going to be throwing some stuff away. We do have this, so we could spend 1 ammo counter to hit someone for 2. We'll go ahead and throw that on monster, just to be prepared for the future. We've got 4 cards coming to hand. We did get our Scorched Earth. That's a big deal for us. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 threat going out. 5, 6 threat going out because of Overrun. This is terrifying. He's swinging at us with 2 boost cards. 2, 3, 4. Put this Goblin Soldier into play. Then we're getting, that all goes into tough, which is totally fine. We've then got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage coming to face. And hopefully this isn't gang up. Oh no, the villain attacks you with +1 attack. So we're looking at 3. I mean, we gotta defend or we're dead. 4, 5, 6, 6. Yeah, that's a dead War Machine. Oh, guys. I'm not pleased about it, but War Machine was our first loss. I let the threat get away, and then it just got a little out of control. Scorched Earth was going to help us next turn, but it wasn't going to get us where we needed to go. We needed to rush a little bit faster against Green Goblin, so we're going to have to go back to the Spinner Wheel of Doom and just see what happens here. And we're back at it. Spinning our spinner wheel here. Gamora Justice. Okay, let's figure that one out. I bet there will be more decks of Gamora Justice, and I think she's actually going to be a really good matchup against this here. So let's use this one from Nocturnal Animal, the Swift Sword of Justice. Sounds pretty amazing. Has some aggression mixed in. We'll get this all pulled up into TTS now. Alright, we are back and set up with the Swift Sword of Justice Gamora deck. Things are rocking and ready to go. So, you may include 6 attack or thwart events in your deck from aspects other than your chosen aspect. Action, look at the top card of your deck. If that card is an attack or thwart event, draw it. We are all set up here with our mutagen formula, Mutagenness. We're ready to go. So we're going to draw our initial 6. We did get a Keen Instincts right away, which is really, really good. Cross counter is useful. I don't really want to hold on to things on my first turn, though. I really don't mind these 0-cost events being in my hand. This is the first card you have played this round. We're probably not going to make that the first card we played this first round, so we'll ditch it. We got both Keen Instincts. Wow, this is going to be good. All right, action. Look at the top card of your deck. It is not an attack or thwart event. It's a Nebula, which is also good, but not good right now. We'll flip. And... Alright, so Gamora's Finesse. After you play an attack event, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Precision. After you play a thwart event, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So we are going to do a lot of things. We're going to play a Keen Instincts and play another Keen Instincts. Seems a little weird. We are going to go ahead and just swing for 2 into this guard minion, and then we will remove 1 threat from a scheme and trigger Gamora's ability to deal 1 damage to this guard minion, getting him out of there. Then we will spend a 0-cost card to deal 2 damage to Green Goblin and remove 1 threat from a scheme. So we've gotten him pretty well down, and we got our Keen Instinct set up. I'm pretty happy with this, especially knowing Nebula is going to be in our hand. And we should be good to go. And we drew into a cross counter. Wow, things look... This is a good deck. Nocturnal Animal. It's pretty good. Alright, he's swinging at me for 2 plus something. I'm not even going to defend because I have cross counter here. So it ends up being 3, which is like the perfect number. We're going to throw Wiccan, and actually, we can just use one of these. Play cross counter. When you would take any amount of damage, prevent 3 of that damage. So we're going to take no damage. We're going to deal 1 damage to an enemy. We're going to remove 1 threat from a scheme. And we're going to trigger the, when you play a thwart event, deal 1 damage to an enemy once per phase. So, blammo, what a good turn for us. The only thing it doesn't do is draw us a card, right? And we've got a card here that is the Goblin Glider. Alright, it is our turn. We're going to go ahead and play Nebula here. After Nebula enters play, search your deck for an attack or thwart event, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. Alright, we get to see what kind of good things are in here. We definitely don't need those thwart events right now. I don't mind having Dropkick, although I don't have the triggers I need to trigger it, which is a bit unfortunate. Deal 4 damage, 7 if I've played a thwart. I haven't played a thwart yet this turn. Honestly, I think we're just going to take a Clear the Area and use it as a resource. Alright, so we're going to use Clear the Area and Wiccan to play Ironheart. I'm just going to draw us a card. Oops, sorry, I'm supposed to shuffle my deck. Going to draw us a card. It's a Clobber. We'll hold on to it for next turn. We got a lot of good stuff to do here, though, so we can go swinging for 5 since the threat is at 0. And now we've got some allies to chump for us. Both these allies have 2 health, so they're in their chumping zone here. We're going to draw 4 cards. Now we've got what we need for a Dropkick, which is really good. 1 threat going on the main scheme. He's swinging at us for 3 plus something. Ironheart is there for it. She's going to take 4 to face. Good job, Ironheart. And Green Goblin attacks you. If you're an alter ego ward, do not give him a boost. So he is going to attack us for 3 more. We've got Nebula for this one. Both have enter play abilities, so we kind of want them in our discard pile before we deck out. And that's that. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and use Clear the Area to remove the last threat and draw a card. We played a thwart, so we get to deal a damage to somebody. Always good. We will use Clobber. Ooh. I don't really want to flip him yet, so we're going to use Clobber and these 2 to play Dropkick. So that will punch him for 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll give him a stunned status card and draw us another card. We were really hoping for a double resource there to play Groot. I really want to get Groot down so he can start blocking for us. So I'm going to discard the rest of our stuff. I can't even punch him for the 2, but I can flip down since the scheme is pretty low. Look at the top card of my deck. It is a thwart event, so I'll add it to my hand and discard it because we don't want that much thwart. And draw 5 replacements so we can get Groot out there next turn. Alright, 1 threat going on the main. He's going to scheme for 2. And we're going to hopefully not draw an advance. It's an assault into an advance. It's going to scheme for 1. Okay, not the end of the world. Really makes me mad, but not the end of the world. Let's look at the top card of our deck. It is a card we want, but not a attack or thwart event. We are going to flip up and make some decisions here. Alright, we definitely need to get Groot down. So let's pay 1. Let's do some stuff here. We've got these 2, so we can play forward momentum. That lets us remove 3 threat and deal a damage with Gamora's ability. Always good. We can now play Groot for 1, 2, 3. Get Groot onto the board. Gamora and Groot can take this guy out. Groot's going to take 2 damage. Trying to just put a damage token on him. And we're going to chill. Drawing 4, because we are in hero form. We've got 1 threat going on the main. This guy is stunned. And our encounter card is an assault, so he's not stunned. He's going to swing at us for 3 plus something. I'm now wishing I hadn't defended with Groot. I'm going to defend with Gamora. I should have defended with Groot. He would have, well, he wouldn't have healed anything, but he wouldn't have died. So I ended up taking 1 and placing a threat in the scheme. And that was his encounter card, so it goes to our turn. Alright, so we can finally get Gamora's Swift Sword of Justice into play, and we certainly will. Debating if I need to do anything else first. Let's see. I'd really like to be able to drop kick Goblin, flip down, and let him go to the next form. What do we think about that? We've got to get rid of this little guy that's in the way. So we could use Acrobatic Move and Groot to get rid of the little guy. Not too bad. And then we could pay 1, 2, 3 for Dropkick. And I not have enough left over for the sword, but I'm flipping down, so maybe I can afford it then. Or I could use the sword to pay for Dropkick and get a sense of justice down, which also doesn't hurt. Either way, let's do what we can do first. We're going to Acrobatic Move and send Groot into this puppy. So that'll remove 1 threat, and we will not hit that guy yet. If I had a thwarting event, I could ping him for 1. That'd be really nice. Kind of feels like a waste to drop kick him dead. Maybe we do just play the sword and flip down. Look at the top card of our deck. It is not the card we want it to be. Well, it's a card, but it's not the card that we needed there. And we're going to ready up, drawing 5 cards. Alright, so he's going to get a threat. He's probably going to scheme out here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe not. And we get a Shadows of the Past. Always great. Nebula's here to play. Let's see, what does she do? So she discards Nebula ally. She's got Retaliate 2. And we've got players other than Gamora cannot remove threat from here. After the villain phase begins, deal Gamora 1 face down encounter card. That is not a thing we like. It's definitely a thing we have to make go away. Definitely a thing we don't have the ability to make go away, so that's always good. Let's look at the top card of our deck. It's a drop kick. We will definitely take that. And we're going to flip up. We are, before we flip up, hold the phone. Let's go ahead and play this conditioning room. Return the topmost attack or thwart event from your discard pile to your hand. So it's the one we just paid, and we heal one. Now we'll flip up. We will use one of these for multitasking, so that works as a wild resource. We're able to remove 2 here and 2 here. Almost gets rid of it. And we played a thwart event, so we can ping something for 1. I think we're going to ping Gabi for 1. I don't know if we're happy about that or not. And then what do? Do I drop kick Gabi and just let Nebula hit me? Maybe. We definitely want to drop kick Gabi. So let's worry about that first. There's 3 physical resources for a drop kick. And we pinged him for 1 with our thwart, so he is technically up at 18 now. So that's going to hit him to 14. Give him a stun and draw us a card. Not so bad. We get to remove a threat from a scheme. We'll remove it there. We will go ahead and thwart here for 2. It's going to defeat a side scheme. We remove the last threat from a side scheme. We can hit an enemy for 3. You know who we're hitting. And we played 2 attack events here, so we can deal 1 damage to an enemy twice. Let's do it while we can. We've got Decisive Blow for next turn, or do we take the Endurance and get the extra hit points? I think we're going to take the extra hit points for now, because we are decking out. And we've technically dealt ourselves 2 encounter cards by going to the next Green Goblin stage, so things are not looking super promising for Gamora, but she's pretty healthy here. I think we're in a good state. So we're going to draw 2, get ourselves 1 more encounter card, because why not? And then 3 more. Alright, so we have a good chance of clearing things out. We don't have a ton of attack events, which is a bummer. Okay, 1 threat going on the main. He is stunned, which is great. Nebula is not stunned. Not so great. But Groot could block her. I think we're going to save Groot, though. Okay. Nebula gets a Goblin Glider. Why not? Everybody gets a Goblin Glider. That card gains Surge, because there's no one left to attach them to. We got a Goblin minion, and we get an Overrun. Oh, that's perfect for us, kind of. Alright, we got a lot of thwart events to play, but we need card draw more than we need anything else. So we are going to use forward momentum to play Clear the Area. Are we? Maybe we're not. Maybe what we do is, that's at 4, unfortunately, huh? I mean, I've got 4 damage here already. I can get to 5. I just need to top deck something good. I mean, top decking an event is harder than I think it is. Let's go ahead and multitasking, and we're going to pay for it weirdly with this, but we're going to pay for it as if that was a physical. We're going to just remove 2 here. Then we will forward momentum to play Clear the Area, removing the last threat and drawing a card. Get another Set the Pace. We just thwarted and removed. We played 2 thwart events, so we get to ping things. So we'll ping 1. We just removed the last threat from a scheme, so we'll play an attack event to hit for 1, 2, 3, down to 5. We do get to ping 1 with Gamora's Sword, so I do think we have it here, because Groot can swing for 2. Gamora can swing for 2. We've got no guard minions in the way. And bingo bango, Gamora pulled it out. So we did take down the Green Goblin pack in Standard. We got 1 loss there to War Machine. Let's go back to our recap page and see how we're doing. Alright, so we played 3 games in the video today. We played, I believe it was Cat Protection against Risky Business. And then War Machine Protection fell to Mutagen Formula one time with that Iron Stun deck that I horribly played. And then we won with Gamora Justice. So our stats are now updated. We're 5-1 in our little gauntlet here. we're still 2-0 with aggression, 1-0 with leadership, 3-0 with justice, and 2-1 with protection. We are 5-1 with community decks. We're using all community decks, so I can just remove that because it's going to be the same as record forever. And we do have one here who's on the edge of falling into the negative zone. So nobody's over there in the negative zone with the Fantastic Four yet. But pretty soon, War Machine could be making his way over there, mainly due to piloting error. But I mean, I guess you have to pilot War Machine armor somehow, so it kind of makes sense. Next time, we will continue with Wrecking Crew and start into the Rise of Red Skull scenarios. So hopefully Wrecking Crew, Crossbones, and maybe we can squeeze in Absorbing Man all into the same stream. Be sure to check it out. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if this is something you like. There will be a playlist going up with this, so you can subscribe to that playlist, and every time I record a video or stream a video, I will add it to that playlist, so you're always notified of when the next Contest of Marvel Champions Championship video comes out. Until then, this is KennedyHawk. Thanks for tuning in, and keep flipping those zeros.